Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. We try to go live all day today, and there's been absolute mither with YouTube, and it's only my channel for some reason, because fan channel, everyone else seems to have no mithers with it, but we're here, and we can go live. What's happening, everybody? How's it going? I have had a double busy day today, but it is what it is. Right, talk to me. What's going on? Jadon Sancho agreeing terms with Paris Saint-Germain. Sounds like it's quite close to happening. From Parisian sources, according to Santi, they're saying that the winger is extremely excited by the project presented by PSG. I think he's just extremely excited to be leaving United. I think it's got to that stage with him, to be honest with you. It remains to be seen whether we let him go cheaply or we get a fair price for him. You'd think with it being PSG, you'd actually get a decent price. But there's layers to this conversation that's going on with PSG, and that's where I think this gets quite interesting. So PSG are going after Jadon Sancho as an alternative to Kvara. Interesting. Luis Enrique likes him as a player, and then this has gone around like wildfire today, and it might be nothing in it, but it did make my heart skip a bit, just a little bit, right? PSG also want Bruno Fernandes. Now, there's no talk that they've made a bid. There's no talk that they will make a bid, but the mere mention of it makes me go, ah, shit. Now, obviously, United and PSG have got many things to talk about. There's discussions going on for Xavi Simons. There's discussions going on for Ugarte. There's obviously discussions with Jadon Sancho. So you're like, right then. In the midst of all this, there is a chance that Bruno Fernandes' name gets brought up by PSG. Now, the guy's our captain at the moment, and I think he's a fucking loyal captain, and I would be absolutely devastated at him leaving. I know he frustrates people. I think it's misguided. I think keeping him and the productivity that he delivers is very, very interesting. And it's very much the sort of thing that I would like us to do. I don't think Manchester United get better by releasing Bruno Fernandes. I think the guy that is consistently one of, if not the most productive chance creators in the Premier League, is not someone that you just allow to go. Now, with the age of him as well, you wouldn't even get a lot of money. So for me, I really don't want to see it going. I don't know how much I could see this happening. I mean, what do you guys say in the comments? Now, I presume most people here don't want to see Bruno go, but how many people expect that this could happen? Could happen. Not will happen, could happen. Robbie Kingston says, take Rashford instead. Now, I actually still, there was a lot of talk locally that PSG and Rashford was something that was going to happen. Now, do you think that Jadon Sancho is a either-or thing with Rashford? Because I can't see it being both. And that's a lot of outlay, isn't it? There's a lot of things to discuss here as PSG and United sit down, isn't there? And then obviously you've got to take into account what's going on with the players. Matthew says, have I seen anything about the correlation between dental health and other injuries? Apparently AC Milan cleared up Seedorf's knee injuries by removing his wisdom teeth. There's a lot of talk about that lately, but that is mental to me, that is a thing. Isn't it? How is that so connected? Do you know what I was thinking about this morning? I'm going to take it well off-road here. But your fingers. Humans, when your hands get wet, your fingers kind of get that wrinkly effect. The reason they get that wrinkly effect is it makes things easier to grip. There's more surface area for you to grip things when your hands are wet. Why did that come about? What was the evolutionary reason that we needed to be able to grip things underwater better? Over such a long period of time, where evolution decided that was a selectable trait. Get that in your Monday afternoon pipe and smoke it. United Indian says, would rather have Rashi at United than Sancho. I don't think there's anyone disagrees with that. I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone disagrees with that one. Daniel Farr says, everyone has a price tag. Bruno's has to be around the 100 million, right? 80 to 120, big ballpark, but something in there. I don't think that you would command that sort of fee for him. Now, maybe you can ask for that sort of fee, which is basically we don't want to sell him, sling it. But I don't think you ask for that level of fee, to be honest with you. D-Tech says it rains a lot. Ari says water equals life. Fishing with spears, says Dan. Yeah, possible. Sir Jimmy says pre-Neanderthal so they could climb trees and rocks for food. Ant says before we had tools, we relied on hand catching fish. Does that really add up? Sanel says, yes, talk about wet hands. Let's take a break from football today. Hey, listen, I can live off topic. I could even do an off-topic podcast, you know. Maybe, I mean, I guess Late Night Live has sort of become that kind of thing, but sometimes it's worth it talking about football. And sometimes there's relevant football topics to bring up in a Late Night Live, isn't there? Rune says KDB will go for 60 million with a year left on his contract. Is that a fact? Wowzers. D-Tech says cleaning the dishes in the kitchen. Andrew says it's because skin is porous and swells up when it absorbs water. Yeah, okay, and yeah, I know the mechanism of why it does that, but like, why did it evolve to do that? I don't think my dog's little pads under his feet do that. So why in humans is it a thing? LDT says Ahmad and Garnacho ahead of Sancho with his 300k a week wages. Ineos and Ten Hag will be happy to see him go. Played a blinder in the media with the apology. Yeah, you don't believe a word of what's coming out there. Jacob says the Brew is off-topic podcast. It is, but it's still semi-on topic, or at least it's got a topic. I would happily live in a fully off-topic podcast. I really would. And someone says, isn't Head gone the off-topic pod? Okay, I'm starting to see what you're catching here. All right, maybe I do 3 off-topic podcasts a week already. Maybe there isn't room for another one. Maybe there is. There's a lot of shit to talk about, right? What's your favourite brand of water? And why is it smart water? Dubsy says, just joined. Please recap my opinion too. So the recap is United and PSG are sitting down and having a conversation. And that conversation is about Jadon Sancho going, which looks like it's very straightforward to get done. The fee, maybe not so much, but like the player and the club very happy with each other. The complication in this is obviously that PSG and United are talking about Ugarte. There's potential that United are talking about Xavi Simons as well to PSG. And then someone's just boshed a big old spanner into the works by saying, what's going on with the Bruno Fernandes fella? Because that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Stefan says, I don't think any potential buyers are believing in the Sancho apology story. Probably not. Tyler says, humans are the most adaptable creatures on the planet. We're evolved for all kinds of weird shit. Yeah, the fact that people can live in the desert and the fucking Antarctic is mental, isn't it? Like people literally thrive and survive in both those climates is insane to me. By the way, if you want to get off topic on YouTube, go and have a look at the, I can't remember the name of the tribes, group of people in northeastern Russia. Mate, it's minus 80 Celsius. What? Your diesel is frozen in your car at that temperature a long time ago, too. Clayton says, Bruno going nowhere. What's reasonable for Sancho? 2 players, 40 mil. Manuel swap, 40 mil for the youngster. Your number? I couldn't give you a number, to be honest with you. I think Sancho, you've got to get 30, 40 out of him. At least. You're getting mugged if you're not getting 30, 40 out of him. You might even ask for 50. Whether or not you get it, you might ask for that, though. Jay Tomley says, goodbye, Sancho. It could happen, but our price might be 180 at least, plus Ugarte free. I mean, you can say those words, whether or not you get a response. I mean, I don't think you're getting a response with that, to be honest with you. Sonny Jim says, Bruno leaving will break my heart. I absolutely agree. Inez says, I didn't get the notification. Got to fix that. Sean says, so if your fingers are, if your fingers are just for grip when they're wet, does that mean... Come on, son. It's 2 PM. Fabian says, wait, you've frozen your dog Diesel before. No. The diesel in your car. It's different. Yatutsk in Siberia, Russia. Yeah, that's the gaff. Yeah, you will go on a right YouTube ride if you just search Yatutsk and just go and see the absolute carnage of people living there. Bruno out, Olmo in, says Johnny B. Goodwin. I think that's a downgrade, you know. Rami says, I asked ChatGPT and it says it's improved grip for foraging and hunting in slippery terrain. Also an active CNS process. Don't know what that means. So it's definitely for evolutionary purposes. United says, no way, Steve, they'll drag the prices down for the 350k wages. Arnold and Mert are shitting on the contract. Yeah, but wasn't like Mbappe on like $1 million a week or something there, or did I just invent that? Sonny says, thoughts on Zubi plus Ugarte? Is that's solid in my opinion. Wait, is there any links with us with Zubi? I haven't seen that. John Officer says that double mega cold. That is the literal scientific definition of double mega cold, actually. Stephen McGuinness says Fabrizio is saying Xavi Simons is going to Germany. Donny says Bruno's the best in the world at what he does, I assume. Sean says fingers, sausage rolls, perfect for each other. Coincidence? I think not. You got no one can disagree with you there, can they, pal? Rosino says, enjoy your shows for years now. Love what you're doing with Paddock. Keep working hard. Have I heard about Hugo Larsson, midfielder that will be in a top club soon? No. Is that a name we need to be paying attention to? Thomas says, afternoon, lad. You just text me. How was the stag? I did see a notification pop up. Daniel Farr says they leave their cars running all winter. What? Wait, what? Why have I got to pay fucking... It used to be 5p, wasn't it, right? There was the tax on fucking plastic bags because they were going to be polluting the environment. And motherfuckers are just leaving their car running the whole way. Woody says, I'm still hanging out my hoop. It's a good one. Jacob says, I heard Ineos are interested in Sancho. Phil says, imagine losing Mbappe and gaining Sancho. That's like when we lost Ronaldo and signed Obertan. It's not. But you've definitely delivered another ego into the dressing room, haven't you? So it probably fits straight in. Sammy says, we need windows that can put a cross in. I don't think anyone disagrees with that one. Kez says, have I seen the link that with that Australia right back over it? No, I've not. Send the links to me. Hit me up on Twitter with those links and we'll see. Steve says, just logged on. What's my thoughts on Fofana? I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's going to be one on United's radar or not, but I think he's a good player. They heat their cars with fire. Yeah, if you've not seen, they get basically like a little drip tray. They will set like a little barbecue and they just bosh it underneath the engine block to warm it up, to have the diesel just fucking mobilized in there because it literally turns to like a jelly. Do you know what? I'm going to be real with you here now. Fuck the cold. I can stomach a lot of shit. And I went and did a winter survival course. I do not like or thrive in the cold. I like it in the deserts. I like it where it's dead hot. That's a bit of me. If you've got to set fire to stuff to heat up the fuel so it's a liquid, then I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to say it's probably too cold to live there. Maybe don't live there. Have you seen... I think it's Alaska. No, it's not Alaska. It might be Alaska. There's basically an entire town lives in the same building. Everything's in that building because fuck going outside. Don't live there. Don't live there. Just don't live there. There's other places in the world you can live. I mean, all right, I live in Manchester. It's all right, right? I probably could go and live somewhere else and I get the family ties to stuff. But when you think like you could live literally anywhere in the world, isn't it mad that people live in some mad places like that where you have to like set fire to your car just to fucking get the diesel moving? Sean says, Steve, going to South Carolina for United versus Liverpool. Am I going to be there? No, I'm not. I'm coming home on the Friday. Thursday, technically, but I get home on the Friday. John says, I'd rather live in a place too cold than too hot. What? Why? Do you know how good life is when you're just cutting about in fucking shorts and flip-flops? Genuinely so much better. Phil says, the only time I'm glad I live in Oldham. Britain is middle lane, innit, right? Yes, there's extremes to it in Britain. Some places are a little bit warmer, some places are a little bit colder, some places are a little bit more remote, some places are a little bit more urban. But Britain is right in the middle. There's not really any insects that are going to fuck you up. You get midges every now and then. I still got a couple of like bite marks from last weekend on my hand. It's not the end of the world. You don't have those big fuckers that are trying to eat you like you get in Australia or the Amazon. You know what I mean? Or like you have a pee in a fucking river and something swims up your cock. You don't need that stuff going on, do you? Or you don't get the extremes of heat and cold. It gets a bit cold in winter and it gets a bit warm in summer and you're like, meh. You don't see people just fucking caving in everywhere. Ewan says, would I rather have toe-sized fingers or finger-sized toes? Finger-sized toes, because then I could start gripping shit. Imagine just like Picking stuff up off the floor like that. Have some of that. Ridwan says Scotland might be a bit mad near the mountains. Well, that's if you live at height, you live at height. You live at altitude, you're going to get cold. It's one of those. Ryan says Shanghai is boiling right now. Easily 40 degrees Celsius. God damn, that's hot. Would I prefer a climate that was 0 degrees all day or 40 degrees all day? Year round. I'm going to have to take the 40, please. It was 56 in Afghanistan at its peak. And yes, it's hot. And you, like, one of the maddest things, you used to take a lot of naps during the day, right? When you're not doing fuck all. And when you wake up with like a fucking layer of sweat right across you. And like a pool of it in your neck all the time. But you know what? Ari said, would I rather battle dickfish or a bear? Oh, you're not beating a bear, are you? But you don't want a fish in your dick either. Both of those are shit options, our kid. Common Pent says, love your content. I see you on the tube a few times in the past. Never wanted to trouble you. I fucking love that. Thank you. What's the next step for me in the content world? I wouldn't mind doing a level up of stuff tactically. And I wouldn't mind being able to dedicate more time to doing the IRL stuff. Because I do enjoy that. I mean, it is the stuff I enjoy filmed. So obviously. But I also think that there's loads of layers to the sort of things that we can do. Like last week I was away shooting. We talked about it last night. I'm just waiting for the footage needs like fucking half of the people that was on the course's faces blurring and stuff. So I've got to wait for that to get sanitized and then bring it out. NT says, Afghanistan is dry. I have similar temperatures where I live, plus 70% humidity. It's gross sometimes. Yeah, jungle's not really the ones for me. Fuck that noise. Dan says, I can't stand the heat. I'll take cold weather all day. Oh, you're all fucking mad, man. Like, honestly, pair of shorts, leather gloves for anything that you got to touch that of metal, and just fucking baby oiling that shit up. It's better me that. Kieran says, bear literally eats you alive. Doesn't X you while you get eaten alive. Yep, it doesn't. It just starts eating your arsehole first. It's fucking rude, isn't it, really? AJ Wright says, would I take Verratti even though he's older? Yeah, I would. I fucking love him. Kerry says, have I ever been to Hawaii? No, I've not been to Hawaii. In fact, the entire Pacific is a place I wouldn't mind visiting. Obviously, being a veteran, got loads of mates that are Fijian. There's a fucking massive Fijian presence in the British Army, especially if you play rugby. And Fiji, to me, sounds like paradise. I wouldn't mind going checking it out. Kakashi with a super chat there. Cheers, our kid. Says, can't see Wilcox letting Sancho go for a second time unless we get a proper fee. He's staying and playing. Our fans need to accept if he stays, he's top. But you can't undermine the manager, mate. To that level. Luke says, cold over heat, I can only get so naked. You're all mental, you know. You're all mental. The heat is the one. Notch says, I'm Italian, give me hot weather all day. Yeah. Have we got running water? Fucking burn me, baby. Like, no. Sonny Jim says, I'd love to see a future stadium discussion in depth. I did actually have a chat with Gary Neville about the stadium stuff. I was asking him a very specific question about the stadium. It'd be very interesting to see how that all plays out anyway. Do I think Sancho really apologised? No, I don't, actually. Chris says, came for the football, stayed for the dickfish versus bear, keep up the cracking work. See, we ended up off topic in the end, didn't we? Off topic, why do DMs and defenders make better gaffers than forwards or other midfielders? Probably because, certainly midfielders, you have to attack and defend. So your understanding of both attacking and defending is a little bit higher than a striker. But Sir Alex Ferguson was a striker. Johan Cruyff was, a striker or a forward, really. And those are two of the greatest managers that have ever lived. I think it's probably something to do with that. Would I take Trent in a January transfer window? Is that the stupidest question we've ever had asked? Koji says, I'm from the Caribbean and I will never complain about the heat again after traveling. What's the insect situation going on in the Caribbean? Because I could see that's a bit much. Jimmy says it hits 52 degrees Celsius in North Africa a few days back. Would I handle that? Yep. I mean, done 56 with body armor and helmet on, so yep. I mean, it's hot. The only way I can describe the heat of what it's like, and you got to think, like, I don't know how many years Afghanistan took off my life. Breathing in like helicopter exhaust fumes alone must have took some fucking years off, right? But when you crack your body armor off, it opens at the corner, right? As you let your body armor drop forward, you're hit by a waft of hot air that's been cooking your vital organs. The only way I could describe that to someone who's not experienced that in that heat is like, do you know when you open up an oven door when you had a pizza in there and you get that whoa in the face? You get that but off your own body. How many years has that taken off your fucking life? It's got to be a bit in it. Artemis says, I prefer to warm up than cool down, but there ain't no central heating in an igloo. I need to look up ESPN FC's recent Ten Hag attacks and call them out. We'll be doing some of that, don't you worry. Did I lose weight in Afghanistan then? Yeah, probably, but not noticeably. I was fucking lean at the time anyway, so it's one of those. Oh, now I'll be fucked. Hope to see you in LA. Let me know if you guys need help or recommendations. Probably more San Diego we need a bit of hand and recommendations with, because we're going to arrive on a Thursday. I think we've been invited to go and have a tour around NASA but by a guy that we met last year. Friday night we're going to go, or Friday afternoon we're going to do a podcast with Ian Edwards. Friday night probably go to the Comedy Store or the Laugh Factory with Ian. Saturday United are playing, and then Sunday we travel to San Diego. So if you're in LA, we'll definitely be at the tailgate. We'll get there nice and early, so we'll have loads of bevs and hang out with people on Saturday before the Arsenal game. But San Diego is where we've got a bit of time, and I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of San Diego. I like San Diego. Of all the places that I've visited in the world, and I've done a fair bit of travelling. There's more I got to tick off, but I've done a fair bit. I got to hit South America as well with a vengeance. Like, I don't know. I can see me being a bit of Argentina. I'm going to be honest. The way they like the football, the beer, and the steak. I mean, fucking hell. If I wasn't made for a place. But, of all the places I've visited in the world, there's an energy in San Diego that I really like. It's different to LA. It's different. It's different to New York. It's different to New Jersey. Certainly different to Vegas. Stevie doesn't like Vegas. One of those. Ben says Ian sound, isn't he? Shout out to Ian. Him and John Shin, two best Americans. Yeah, two absolute lads. Although Ian's not American. He's from London. He's like Jamaican London. But then I think he moved to America as a kid. So he's got like a real fucking kind of like, where the fuck's that coming from accent. But yeah, he's not technically American, he's British. Brandon says, if Bruno goes, bring me Wirtz. Yep, I'm on board with that. Andel says, I really want to become your Dwight York for Paddock. Just need to see if I can find a job over there. Mate, yeah, absolutely. That'd be fucking brilliant. We've got quite a lot of players of Caribbean heritage in the club as well. A lot of Jamaicans. Manchester's got a big Jamaican community, so not surprising really in the grand scheme of things. Ant says Dubai is weird as fuck too. Feels like a film set. There's zero energy. The only way I can describe it for anyone that lives around Manchester that's not been there is it's like Media City. It's not got no fucking soul, man. Like, there is no soul to a place. Like, I think this is the hippiest shit you're gonna ever hear out of my mouth. But I think that places absorb energy. To take it a bit of a left turn, I visited Belsen concentration camp in Germany when I was a child, and I don't know, I think that probably made me want to be a fucking soldier from that fucking day, in all honesty with you, to stop shit like that ever happening again, even though it clearly fucking happens again. But that place had a fucking energy, like that I detected as a fucking 6-year-old. So, I think places carry energy, and Dubai just reminds me of Media City, man. Like, there's all these big fucking shiny glass buildings. Ain't no fucking soul here. No soul here at all. Rossitron says, hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth was in Furnace Creek, Death Valley, 56.7 degrees. It's fucking hot. What year Land Cruiser / Rover did I get? I've been looking for a project to spend quality time and dough on. Well, you'll spend quality dough on it. I need a fucking loyalty card from my local garage. Look at it's one at the end of my street, and I am there regular. It's a 1994 Land Rover Defender 110. And to be honest, I fucking love it. It's got so much character. I imagine it gets as many looks as, I don't know, the average fucking, like, very attractive woman gets. Do you know, people just fucking turning heads constantly, which is not what I wanted it for, because I generally like to kind of go incognito a little bit, but it gets a lot of looks. Quantum says, hello from the Mojave Desert. Lovely. Mood Swing says, most of the time, the reason you find humans in places like Alaska is because of the oil and gold mining. Yeah, I mean, that's literally why the West Coast of America exists, isn't it? Stefan says your tax is about 700 quid a year then. No, do you know what? It was about 400, I think. It wasn't too bad. Have I ever been to India? I'll enjoy all the different weathers and mountains and oceans in the same country. No, India is definitely a spot that I got to go and check out. Did I ever work with Gurkhas? Yes, there was Gurkhas in 16 Air Assault Brigade. Never worked closely with them, though. NT says, I had an English mate who was born in the US and sounded like an American, and one day, years later, I saw a video of him on social media, and he was talking like he'd never been outside of Harrow. There is a video of me at an FC United game in 2005, and you would swear I am auditioning for Shameless, because my accent is full Andy Tate style. I think through doing YouTube and having to talk all the fucking time, I've had to probably change my accent, but also the army just completely fucking softened my accent out. Donald says, just passed my apprenticeship working on classic defenders like yours. Great to work on. Love it. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think a fucking screwdriver and a spanner, and you can get most things done on a defender. Stefan says, what do I think of iShow Speed? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not for me. It's one of them. Florence says, I'm born and raised in Dubai, and it's definitely not soulless. Well, where's the soul? Because the bits I've walked around, mate, they got no soul. Ant says, have I tried Cairo? Bit mad, but my God, you can feel the history dripping out of every stone. No, Cairo's a place that I've got to go visit. BM says, wisdom teeth can cause dental infections and can trigger immune response by bringing up joint pain in the knees. That's the Sadov thing. Mad. Stato says anything over 15 degrees is too fucking hot. What's the weather in LA next week? Because LA's usually in the fucking 30s, isn't it, in the summer? Let's have a look. Okay, 31 on Wednesday, 32 on Thursday, 31 on Friday, 29 on Saturday. So, packing my shorts then, I think. It's going to be a warm one. Lots of love from Zimbabwe, says Takunda. Cheers, our kid. That's not true, surely. Phil says that's because you're a grown-up. I feel that iShow Speed fella is a tool. Yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Artemis says, from Wales, but I lived in Salford a few years ago, so my accent isn't quite as Welsh anymore. Lincoln Drink says, you're not going to talk about transfers? Hey, we talked about transfers, but there's a chat. If people ask about transfers, we will reply about transfers. And if they don't ask about transfers, well, we'll talk about whatever. What's the name of the FC United video? Let me find it. It's Baby Stee. 2005, I think it is. It's called FC United. Let's see if I can find the vid. Struggling. Don't want to spend too long just staring at this. It is called FC United Fans Interviewed Summer 2005. FC United Fans Interviewed Summer 2005. If you go and watch it, drop a comment saying just hear from Steve's video. And we'll see how many of you get over it, and I'll bosh it into the chat. This is how long ago it is that the videos are fucking square. just to illustrate how long ago that shit was. Throw this in. Just going to put it in the chat. I wasn't logged in. Give us a sec. And I'm talking. Get that off. There you go. There's a link there. Right. Super chat there from Dean says, Ineos needs to wake up. It's been 3 days and we haven't signed a player yet. Mike says, another farmer league. Jadon will be thrilled and excel. Brutal. Might be right, though. Have I read Dan Ashworth's letter to the fans? Oh, do you know what? No, I saw a tweet with something about Dan Ashworth as addressed, and then it went. Let me just pull it up because it was right here. I say it's right here. I can no longer see it. Oh, I got refreshed. Not seen. I might have to do another video when I get the quotes of that. I don't want to just sit here scrolling for it. NT says good old 4.3 and 240p. Yep. What's the plan with Palestri? I reckon probably just sell him, to be honest. Chris says, what shit show have I got in with Denton FC? One of our players has let it go there, which is fine. There are a couple of leagues above us, and I saw my ass a little bit with how they'd announced it. You know, I can't imagine how it would make me feel as a player that's been moved over and they're just trying to get one over the opposition manager. It's fucking very weird. You know, they've just signed half a dozen players. Every single one of their announcements was the exact same, and then the one that they did for us was just totally fucking different, and it was absolutely bangers. So I've seen my ass of it. Not with a player, you know, well aware of what was going on with the player, and he's done fuck all wrong, but I don't know, it made me feel a certain feeling, I think, if I was joining a team that was doing that. How many transfers reckon we'll get in the transfer market? I thought 4 would be more than enough, but the fact that we've moved so fast, I think we might get 5. Kieran says, in County Donegal in Ireland, you can get the seasons in a day. I'm not going to try and read that. Dunfanaghy to Malin Head. Surreal and wild. Flo says, Rios, Ugarte, Simons in, Casemiro, Bruno, Ericsson, Amrabat out. Oof. Coldest part of the UK I've stayed in. I mean, Cairngorms, although I did get hypothermia in Otterburn, which is a live firing range, probably about 2006 or 7. I fell in a river, lay in a line, and got hypothermia, which was not fucking good. How old am I then? It is 19 years ago, 21, I think, 21, something like that, 2021. India says this live is going somewhere, but do you think that there are humans somewhere other than on Earth? Ooh, apart from the space station, no, I don't think so. Did I see the Rio and Mata meme for the coverage of the BBC final? No. Send. Alex says, what's the point of selling Wan-Bissaka? Doesn't seem like we'd get a better replacement. I think it's just because he's going to go on a free next year, get some sort of money in for him now, I think. San Diego is in climate zone 9B. So is Tampa. Same vibe, same kind of similar weather. Is it really? I always assumed Tampa would be absolutely redders. Ellie says, give a shout out to the Lebanese fans. We love you. Cheers, our kids. And afternoon from Dublin. Any news on the links to Colombia's Richard Rios? I haven't seen any of those. Ridwan says, Everton think Branthwaite is Maldini when he's just a younger Tarkowski. I think what you've said is closer to the truth than the other way around. Koji says, yes, we cannot be the highest forms alive. No, I don't think we are the highest forms alive, but whether or not there's a human out there in the universe, no, I don't think there is. I think humans exist here. Whether that means we're the highest form alive, I would be very shocked if that was the case. Ed says, who are more mad, the shirtless winter fans or the full costume in summer fans? I'm going to be honest with you, right? I've never fucking thought about wearing a costume to a match. I've never been like, right, got my keys, got my phone, got my wallet, Batman costume. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, It's the same reason I don't really get the fucking darts. Why do I have to fucking dress up to go watch something? I don't mind having a fucking dress up something. Like, you know, I used to love a fucking Halloween night out, but it's Halloween. Why am I like? There's a guy that used to walk around Old Trafford that's painted him and his fucking son red. Like, I got so many fucking questions about what we do in here. You know what I mean? I don't reckon I'd still be talking to my son now if when he was 6, I was like, right, we're going to the match. Put your wig on and let me paint you red while I do the same. Can you imagine what is fucking going on? Mark says San Diego is the craft brewery capital of the United States. Have I thought about doing a brewery tour? Ooh, that could be interesting. I know there's some rum gaffs out there because we went to a couple last time we was about. Andrew says getting money now for Wan-Bissaka makes no sense when we're one pulled hamstring away from playing Lindelof at right back. It depends on the stuff that they're trying to do, doesn't it, I think? Do I think our planet was actually created by an alien civilization would explain the prevalence of deities throughout history? Yeah, I think there's probably something in that, you know? I think, is it the Anunnaki that sort of like came and spliced alien DNA with sort of like primates? And that's why you have humans. Are humans like some sort of like alien kind of life form on Earth? Make a lot of sense. Wouldn't it? And then there's all sorts of stuff about how there's this extra planet, the 10th planet, and all that sort of shit. I reckon there's probably something maybe in that. I mean, it's either is or it isn't it? I guess so. It's not. Could be something in that. But it seems to make sense, wouldn't it? The way like human evolution sort of just sped up all of a sudden. Ed says, to be fair, telling a 6-year-old you'll paint them is probably the top 10 most exciting things that they could imagine. It's also the absolute number one thing they're going to be telling a fucking therapist in 20 years' time, isn't it? So, tell me about your relationship with your dad. Well, he used to fucking paint me in red and take me to the match. And like, okay. Like some sort of a Hulk character, but red. Right. So we're going to book him in for another session. Artemis says, Anunnaki and ancient Sumerians, I'm all over that shit. I've ever thought about God. Yeah, I don't believe in God. And I don't believe in a personal God. Why would there be a personal God that you can fucking have an imaginary conversation with? And why would there be 9 different flavors of that exist on the earth like right now? And why would there be 3,000 flavors of that over the course of human history? No, I think there's probably the laws of nature, and that's probably about it. What happens when you die? Well, you become fucking worm food, and that's you. Stefan says Ronaldo Brown would agree, I'm sure. Probably about the aliens, I think that comment's relation to. Ryan says might have been something in the stoned ape theory too. Yeah, I think that's probably a thing. Cantonara is a god, sort of. Ant says would be easier for more primitive humanoids to mistake advanced technology for godlike power. Yeah. Have I seen the Geo Wizard straight line missions where he tries to cross Wales or England in a straight line with minimal deviations? Yes, those guys are hilarious. Like basically fucking trespassing all over people's shit to maintain that straight line. You can't go like a meter either way of it. Yeah, it's interesting and I like it. Matthew says, are you renting cars in the USA? Yes. Have I ever listened to Billy Carson? Not that I know of, I don't think. Are octopuses aliens? They're summer, aren't they? They're fucking summer for sure. JB says, no, it makes no sense. Read Occam's Razor. The simplest explanation is usually the best one. Yeah, usually, yeah. Aliens breed with chimps is a leap in logic that's unnecessary. Use your love. Is it a leap? Yeah, but it's also a possibility. I didn't say that's the thing that I think definitely fucking happened, and the Anunnaki is definitely what happened. But also, like, it's mental. Like, bacterial life anywhere is actually fucking wild, isn't it? Do you not think? Like, life... This is probably about 10 years ago, but didn't NASA find some... Like, I'm pretty sure all life requires, like, some... Is it phosphorus or something like that to be able to live? And they found something in a... in like a hot spring that was not phosphorus based, something like that. Josh says, what the hell did I just tune into? We're talking about Sancho. Keep up. Fucking hell. Would I rather be lost in space or the ocean? Fucking hell, ocean. Let me just fucking drown or get eaten and get the fuck out of here. And being lost in space, just fucking cutting about the gaff in the empty nothingness. Can you imagine? Can't you fucking imagine? Nitrogen. That might have been the one. Yeah, whatever it was, it wasn't the same as every other fucking little thing that's observable, which is nuts. Tiger says, do I prefer UK or American food? KFC is different in it. Mash and scones with chicken. Yeah, the dumplings is a bit of a weird one. I prefer UK food. UK food gets a bad rap. But do you know what? When food's cooked well, you don't need to absolutely fucking obliterate it with spices. You're obliterating it with spices because it's fucking bad food. Dean says, I think the Adam and Eve story is not far off, but I reckon they were sent from Mars because we destroyed that place. I think that's possible as well, isn't it? Dolphins will rule the world one day. Sean, don't have thumbs. That's not going to fucking happen. Tyler says, late night lives on early today. Love the bounce. Yeah, it's got fucking weird on it. I'm going to wrap it up anyway, but cheers for tuning in. It's time for me to go get something to fucking eat. And I'm sure we'll be live very, very fucking soon. If not, well, roll with it. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.